Hi everyone, this is Tim and welcome. This is your weekly angel oracle card reading for the week of January 11th through the 17th, 2016. And I'm so glad to be back. This is actually the first week for 2016. I think it's appropriate because I like that we start off with 111. That has significant meaning for me because my birthday is not January 11th, but November 1, so ones have always been important for me. So I think it's kind of appropriate that I actually did come back on this day. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to have a lot of information that I want to get to you here. And you have to bear with me. I'm still kind of recovering from this bronchitis. My ears are completely blocked, so hopefully I'm not screaming. But thank you all for all of your wonderful wishes and healing energy that you've sent my way. I appreciate it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on. 2016, of course, is 2016. That's a 9. I'm sure by now you've watched videos and you've seen Doreen Virtue talk about all of this, and absolutely we are at the end of a cycle of 9, which is completions and endings. But one thing I also want to add about that is with 9, that's the number 9 is a humanitarian number, okay? You know, all of our great leaders have been, some of them have actually been 9s. For example, Mother Teresa was a 9. And that was also, you know, it's really about giving more than receiving. I think you may have heard me talk about that the last couple of videos that I was doing. But that's what we're going to be doing for 2016, is to take a look at our relationship in our giving and our receiving. And we're being asked that if we can, to do more giving than receiving. Now that doesn't mean to neglect yourself, but it means if you have the ability to help someone that may be in need, to absolutely do that. This is also taking a look at giving back to yourself too. So this is a very nurturing year. And that is where the cycles of the endings and completions and letting go of those things that are toxic that we no longer need and that no longer serve us. Now, we are in Mercury retrograde by now, and this month, all the way through January 25th, we may find relationships, because I keep being told relationships, and that's what this reading for this week, they want me to talk about relationships with you. So the energy for this week may be giving more in the relationship if we can. This is going to be taking a look at the relationships in general. And this is not just necessarily, when I say relationships, people think, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. This is relationships on all levels. So these are your social interactions. And take a look at your sharing. You know, how are you giving? How are you receiving? Also, for some of you, this may be taking a look at your marriage relationship. And because I'm hearing that may be time for us to actually heal some old wounds in that area. And also contracts. So while I'm on that topic of marriage, you know, we have two sides of the same coin. One side of that coin may be going very well for some people. You know, you might be getting married. On the flip side of that, you know, sometimes relationships end. And I am hearing to take a look at contracts and to take a look at, especially with Mercury retrograde, that's one of the things that we want to pay close attention to is all forms of communication, and that's written communication. So make sure if you are signing any contracts, not only this week but all the way through January 25th, that you give that a second, if not a third, look over, just to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But this is all about partnerships on all levels here too. I'm also hearing that for some that change may be unavoidable. So this is about taking a look at what has not been or is not working. And sometimes we sit on the sidelines hoping and praying that it will change, and it doesn't. We may need to be proactive in getting that ball moving and rolling. And on that topic, I am hearing prayer will help with this too, okay? So those are the pre-messages that I'm picking up on. Now, I want to use for this week the beautiful Chrysallis Tarot. I love this deck. It's so elegant and beautiful. As you can see, I've already pre-selected the cards, mainly so that you can see the backs of them. It's Holly Sierra and Tony Brooks. They are the creators of this deck, and this is just an elegant deck. So I want to go on ahead and see what's coming up for us for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. And this is the Green Man. And in tarot, that's going to be the Emperor number 4. I think what I'll do for you guys, because I'm not using an angel deck, I'm going to put an angel card next to this so you can get a visual of what this deck and the angel decks, how they correlate with one another. But the Green Man, number 4, in the Major Arcana is the Emperor. This is really about structure, and this is a very masculine card. So this is asking us to take a look at our giving. Feminine energy is going to be receptive, so with this being the masculine, this is going to be more giving, all right? This is about providing, and this is actually structure and stability. So we may need to create some type of order in what's going on in our relationships, and also I'm also hearing finances and career. So you may be the one that has to take the bull by the horns to get things moving and going. But this is about taking on more of a leader responsibility. This could be a mentor, but this is really putting action and being more organized and creating more structure. Now, this is, as this relates to your relationships, this is also asking that if you are already in a relationship, a lot of times this is, taking a look at what you can provide in that relationship, because this is more giving energy with this here. So this may be rolling up your sleeves and helping out in any form, okay? So health-wise, if we're having any health issues here, this is just asking us to be more in control with what we are doing with our bodies. I think for this week, one of the things with Doreen Virtue, I think she was talking about cleansing and detoxifying, which I think is an excellent idea, because that is actually something that we all need to be doing on a regular basis. So this is saying that we need to take more charge in that direction as well, okay? Now, as we get into the middle part of the week, okay, we have the Egyptian goddess Mat, and this is the Justice card. Now, this is number 8 in traditional tarot. No, but that is balance. This is, by the way, Mat is the Egyptian goddess for fairness. So this is asking us to be very fair, and that the truth does come out. I feel with the scales of the Justice here that this is about balancing, and that what we will, just to know that everything is going to be coming out in a truthful manner for this week as we get into the middle part. That's why we have to have this structure. We have to, a lot of times with this card here, with the Justice here and Mat in general, is that this is saying don't play the victim role. And, this could be in a relationship. This could be in a work setting. This is where the Emperor energy is coming into play and saying, okay, now, let's get moving here. You will need to be the one to take control of the situation. And that means moving yourself out of a victim role if you're playing that. But this is being very conscious about your decisions and that your actions, and that, the actions that you are taking, because they're going to have a long-term effect. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is what needs to be done, not only for today, but for next week and the months ahead. This is being, making sure that everything is fair, and this is not that it's not just a one-sided issue in the relationships that you may be having for this week. Also, with the scales of balance here, that this is making sure that our world is not lopsided, that we're working 70, 80 hours, maybe and when we don't even really need to be, and we're not putting the effort and energy into our relationships at home, the home itself. So this is asking us to take a look at all areas in our life and to make sure that those scales are evenly balanced and all of that. This is also a card about doing the right thing, because they keep telling me that this is about making sure that we do the right thing for this week. So this may be weighing the pros and cons to a specific situation. Now, as we get into the weekend here, wow, we have all major arcana this week. This is, when you get major arcana, and by the way, this is Sorceress, this is the High Priestess. In tarot, the minor arcana, which is the lower suits, that's your pentacles and that's your cups and swords and so forth. Those are your daily, just kind of the day in and out of routines. But the majors, more life lessons. So this is some major stuff. This is big stuff going on for this week. So really pay close attention, especially with the Sorceress here, which is the High Priestess. Because that specific card right there is really about using your intuition rather than logic. Because what may seem logical to you may not necessarily be what you need to be doing. Because this is saying that, and the Sorceress here, the High Priestess, is a non-action card. She's not taking any action. So this week, when we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, especially in our forms of communication, this is really, I'm hearing, think before you speak, go within, and internalize your feelings. Internalize what's going on and kind of decompress from the week and all of the energy for that week before you make any decisions. But this is about wisdom, and this is also about accessing secret knowledge. That's the thing with the priestess, is that the scrolls that she carries here contains mysteries and secrets. So what you're trying to achieve for this week, we may not know until we get into the weekend. Okay, so this is really tapping into your feminine, intuitive side. And guys, if you're watching this, yes, you can do that too. Okay, this is asking us to really go within and listen to that gut instinct. Listen to your gut more than anything that's logical. Now, I always feel with this card here that this is also about meditation too, okay? Because the High Priestess, she's very calm and she's patient. So this is a lady that actually kind of withdraws from the outer world so that she can go into the inner world and really connect to spirit that way. So that's what we're being asked to do. Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited about this week. We've got a lot of high power stuff going on here, but I really feel that this really is going to be about two things. I'm going to repeat, which is taking charge, taking the bull by the horns, but yet at the same time, think before you speak and think before you act, especially with this Sorceress, the High Priestess card. And especially because we're in Mercury retrograde, that's where a lot of snafus occur, miscommunication. This is a very highly sensitive time for people. And oftentimes when we have Mercury retrograde, people just blurt out what they think that they're trying to say, but in reality it is perceived completely the opposite. So use the wise counsel of Mercury retrograde to internalize what it is that you want to say before you actually speak. And the other thing also, because Mercury retrograde is about communication and also delays in some aspect, just give yourself extra time this week, whether it be, especially if you're traveling, back up your hard files on your computer, because that's the thing with Mercury, is that computer crashes and glitches, and mail gets lost and all of that. So you may need to keep up on it. And that again is that Emperor energy, is making sure that you're on top of everything. So have a wonderful week. Thank you. I'm so excited for 2016. I can't wait. I'll talk to you later. And as always, angel blessings. Bye now.